Are you looking to buy Florida land and want to make sure that your investment doesn't fall out from under you? My name is Felicia. I'm a land investor and partner co-owner at Compass Land USA. We've bought and sold hundreds of properties in Florida, and not one of those has been in a sinkhole. If you give me just a few minutes of your time here, I'll show you how to quickly find out if your Florida land is in a sinkhole so you can feel really comfortable moving forward with your next land purchase. Okay, so this is not a this is actually a very rare occurrence, but it does happen. And the last thing you want is to find that dream property and build that retirement home or that new family home and then have it sink into the ground. So I'm going to quickly tell you first what a sinkhole is, how it happens, and then we're going to look at some free resources. So I'm not a soil expert. We're going to keep this high level, but typically a sinkhole will occur where the rock below the land surface can be naturally dissolved by groundwater circulating through it. So the water will just kind of work away at the rock underneath the soil, work away at it. And the groundwater in these cases doesn't have anywhere else to go. So it just constantly is just circulating, flowing through and around the rocks. And as the rock dissolves, spaces develop where those rocks used to be. And the spaces will just get bigger and bigger until the land above it just kind of collapses. And that's really what's scary about sinkholes, is that they form slowly and it's hard to notice while they're developing. So the collapse can really come as quite a surprise and shock. And these collapses vary in size. They're not always going to be disastrous. Some of them are quite small, like a pothole, but they can also look like this image I have up on the screen. So this can be incredibly dangerous. You can see this is a time span of like 5 days, I think. So it started like this, and then it just grows as soon as it switches. So you'll see it can be really, really disastrous. And it can be really dangerous and is obviously something that you want to avoid if you can, especially if you're buying land in Florida to build a house on. It's not easy to find sinkhole warning signs with land as it is as easy with a house. So inside a house, you would look for things like a door jamb fails or doesn't latch anymore, cracks in walls, cracks over doorways, windows that don't open anymore, slanted floors, slanted stairs, all that kind of stuff. With vacant land, it's a little more difficult. Some sinkhole warning signs you can try to keep an eye on for land include slumping or sagging trees or fence posts, wilting of small circular areas of vegetation, so like wilting of small areas of grasses, deep cracks and separation of paved concrete sidewalks and roads. And if the neighboring lots have had any confirmed or possible sinkhole activity, that can mean that same activity could very well happen on the Florida property that you are looking at. If you do have any experience with sinkholes on vacant land, especially if it's in Florida, please leave a comment below. I'd really be interested to know how that worked out for you, what happened, if everything was okay. I'd love to hear from you. So, knowing what a sinkhole is, how do you check for sinkholes in Florida? I have a couple of free resources, some maps to share with you. So let's start here. This image is from a website called Active Rain, and it shows the top 10 counties in Florida that are most prone to sinkholes. Red is very high. So I'm pretty sure this area here, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's called Sinkhole Alley. And if you're looking to get into more specifics, we do have county level maps for you. So again, this is just kind of like this will just show you the hot spots. So I have another resource for you here. And this is from the Florida Center for Instructional Technology. You can see they have a couple different resources they call them themes, a couple different resource themes here. We're going to look at county sinkhole maps. So you would click right here. One thing that I do want to point out is you can see most of these are dated back to 2008, 2007, that era. So it's not the most up-to-date data, but it'll at least give you an idea. So let's pick one. Let's see here. Let's just pick this one. So you click on the link, it shows you an image of sinkholes by county. And if you scroll down here and you click on color PDF version, it'll open that up. And this just makes it easier to zoom in, because if you zoom in on the web page, it gets all fuzzy and hard to read. So here you can zoom in much easier. So we can see the legend at the bottom, sinkholes width in feet, so red 200 or greater, and then yellow is less than 10. So that's feet. So these guys are small, less than 10 feet. A lot of small ones. I wouldn't be too worried about those. I'd really be looking for red and orange. So that one's more than 200. I forget what that one is. There's another 200. So this is a great starting point, but again, the data may not be the most current. So I have another resource for you to use. This one over here. This is maintained by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. I would like to think its database is much more current than 2008. You can always cross-reference these two maps as well. So this one is pretty straightforward. You can drill down to a specific address or use the map features to zoom. And this one is pretty cool because if you zoom in, oh, don't forget to load actually. So load the sinkholes. Okay, big difference. So now that they're loaded, if you zoom in, let's just check out what's going on around Brooksville. If you click on one of these red balloons, which represents the presence of a sinkhole, it'll actually give you the characteristics, which is really neat. So you can see the approximate width, length, depth. So you can check that out as well. So that's pretty cool. Now, if you want to be really certain, like 100% certain, your best bet is to get a sinkhole consultant out to the property. In Florida especially, there are a lot of companies that offer this service. You might even be able to get a recommended consultant from your insurance company. And of course, you can check Google reviews, Yelp, sources like that to find a good consultant. Personally, I've never had this done on one of our properties. We focus on areas that are not really prone to sinkholes, where a sinkhole would be really extremely unlikely. So I don't have an exact cost of that consultant to share with you. My guess, based on getting other services, would be maybe around $500 to $700 for a quarter acre, a residential sized property. But I could be totally off the mark on that. So if you have experience with that, leave a comment. Let me know what the actual cost was. I'd really be interested in hearing on that. Okay, so there you have it. You know roughly what a sinkhole is, some warning signs to spot one, and how to use free resources to check for one. I hope you found this video helpful. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching and for taking the time to educate yourself on how to become a smarter Florida land buyer. Please don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know if this video was useful. If you have a question, leave it down there. I'll reply with your answer. And make sure you subscribe to our channel. We do lots of informative land buying videos and tips like this, as well as some pretty cool custom property tour videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.